Something is not adding up inside the Raiders, and nobody is talking about it. This doesn't make sense. And the more we look at the planning of this franchise, the worse the situation gets. Something smells fishy. Are we moving forward or taking 3 steps back before even stepping on the field? Go ahead and drop a like and stay until the end, because what we are about to break down right now can totally change your vision about the silver and black future. And this isn't even the most worrying thing, but let's get straight to the point that is dividing opinions behind the scenes of our franchise. The Las Vegas Raiders running back room has the real chance of being at its best in years, and any attentive fan knows the weight that has for our division aspirations. According to reports, former first-round pick Ashton Jeanty is expected to produce a lot more now in his second year, taking advantage of the NFL's natural learning curve, while rookie Mike Washington Jr. displays impressive physical potential that caught the attention of the entire coaching staff in training camp. These 2 guys already have a booked passport to enter the main roster, but the big unknown keeping the coaching staff up at night is who takes over the coveted RB3 spot, and this is exactly where the controversy starts gaining strength in the fan forums. Dylan Laube has been pointed out as the initial favorite for the job. The former 6th-round pick is entering his 3rd season, wearing the silver and black jersey, and possesses undeniable value on special teams, something coaches value above almost everything when building the roster. However, there is heavy speculation that Laube has zero guarantee of securing his spot on the final roster this time. The young running back has turned into a true fan favorite over the last few seasons, but the harsh reality of the league is that fan charisma doesn't save jobs when the front office desperately seeks a tactical overhaul. His biggest competition is coming from another rookie, undrafted free agent Roman Hemby, who came in balling out and showing up from day one. Ryan McFadden from ESPN recently published a detailed projection for the roster composition before the official start of training camp, and he pinned Hemby right in that direct fight for survival on the roster. Look at what the analyst highlighted about the future of our ground game. Jeanty finished just 25 yards short of reaching the impressive mark of 1,000 yards as a rookie, despite facing all the absurd struggles of the team on the offensive line during last year. McFadden also stressed that, with a tighter tactical scheme and clear improvements in the trenches, Jeanty's numbers are going to explode in his second year as a professional. The staff wants to turn Jeanty into that classic back who carries the team on his back when the game gets tight. If the Raiders want to win tough games, they're going to need him to reign supreme in that role. But I'll ask you bluntly, blindly trusting this gamble is a genius move by the front office, or an out-of-control risk that can leave us vulnerable, because if the Raiders cut Laube to make room for rookies, the rotation will get extremely young and lack battle-tested grit. Laube hasn't proven everything he can in the NFL yet, but he remains the most experienced running back of the entire current group. Common logic would indicate he'd be threatened only if the franchise brought in a proven veteran from the open market, but putting all your chips on rookies is a dangerous game of Russian roulette. But hold on, because what comes next completely changes the board. Hemby was teammates with Fernando Mendoza back in their Indiana days, so the chemistry between the two is already there and it's strong. If Mendoza starts at week 1, the coaching staff might really like the idea of having familiar and comfortable pieces around him to ease the transition. If the chosen one to lead the offense at the opener is a tough veteran like Kirk Cousins, the dynamics change and Hemby probably turns into an ideal target for the practice squad. The big differentiator still keeping Laube alive in this fight is his flawless performance on special teams. A newly arrived rookie hardly delivers that level of efficiency and kick coverage right away. And special teams coordinator Joe DeCamillis made sure to praise the kid publicly during OTAs, highlighting his out-of-curve intelligence to absorb the playbook. The battle is completely wide open, and the final definition will show exactly what our coaching staff's priority is for the season. And this isn't even the most worrying thing, because now we need to face the cold, naked reality of our division. This is exactly the time of year when the vast majority of NFL teams take the field feeling reinvigorated, dreaming of glory, and ready to surprise. However, less than half of those franchises will actually punch their ticket to the playoffs when the dust settles. And where do the Las Vegas Raiders fit into this story? We are, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most fascinating and unpredictable teams entering this season. We came off a brutal year, carrying the burden of having been the worst team in the league in 2025, but hope was renewed with the arrival of a brand new and electrifying coaching staff, plus the bold pick of quarterback Fernando Mendoza with the #1 overall pick. We have all the theoretical tools to crown ourselves as the team that improved the most from one year to the next in the entire NFL, but the truth is, we still have an abyss of things to prove on the field, and what absolutely does not play in our favor is the competitive brutality of the AFC West. Let's be honest with each other, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos are coming off solid playoff campaigns last season, and even when we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, we're talking about a dynasty that captured 3 Super Bowl titles in the last 7 years. The burning question behind the scenes is, even if our Raiders take an absurd quality leap, will it be physically impossible to avoid last place in the division? Even legendary figures who know our house are skeptical. Former coach Jon Gruden continues showing loyalty to the franchise, but even he can't ignore the mathematical reality of the schedule. Participating in the Wake Up Barstool show, Gruden laid it out and dropped his pessimistic prediction. "I think the Raiders are going to improve," he fired off. But unfortunately for the Silver and Black, this is a very tough division with established coaches and quarterbacks. Is this a realistic analysis that hurts our pride or uncalled for disrespect toward the new project under construction? Because while Gruden throws cold water, there are heavy voices in national media betting everything on our rebuild. ESPN's charismatic Pat McAfee has become a fervent defender and doesn't hide his euphoria with Mendoza's arrival. McAfee showered our new signal caller with praise, describing him as a true gladiator. "He's tough, he's smart, he can spin the ball. The ball looks small in his hands," he stated enthusiastically. "We kept wondering if he could throw an NFL ball. Yeah, I think he's pretty comfortable. We believe very firmly in this guy. But hold on, because the odds makers and cold analysts keep doubting our ability to bounce back. Right now, the Vegas lines have set the Raiders over-under win. Total at just 5.5 games. We won only 3 games last year, so hitting 4 or 5 triumphs would already be an improvement. Still, any fan with blood in their eyes knows the locker room won't be satisfied without at least crossing the barrier of 6 wins. And that's where analysts like Brad Gagnon from Bleacher Report step in with caution. Gagnon confessed he really wanted to bet on our growth, but ended up backing down facing the hardness of the schedule. He pointed out that the new coaching staff and new quarterbacks help, as well as the retention of monster Maxx Crosby, but warned about the inevitable growing pains of such a young group. If Mendoza steps on the field and delivers the expected performance, it's perfectly logical to imagine we'll clear that 5.5 win line without major scares. But the variables are massive. Now I ask you, are we going to surprise the world and silence the AFC West critics, or are we going to suffer in the trenches again? Leave your opinion in the comments. And this isn't even the most worrying thing, but hold on to your heart, because now we are going to talk about the true soul and defensive heart of our franchise. Our star pass rusher, Maxx Crosby, is officially entering his 8th consecutive season, proudly defending the silver and black uniform. With an impressive 69.5 career sacks accumulated and 5 undisputed Pro Bowl nods, he is and always will be the great cornerstone of our defense. However, the most attentive fan remembers very well the psychological horror movie we lived through recently. The franchise flirted with the unthinkable by trading him to the Baltimore Ravens, only to get him back in a widespread relief after the Ravens backed out of the deal at the last minute. With all the edges seemingly smoothed out and the wounds stitched up, our defensive unit now takes a deep breath and anxiously hopes to recover the lost respectability on the field. But what is really shaking up behind the scenes is how analysts who know our house from the inside view the future under new management. A media member who understands the organization better than almost anyone is former linebacker Kirk Morrison, who played 5 seasons defending the colors of Oakland, racking up 636 tackles, 5 sacks, and 7 memorable interceptions. Morrison, who now works as a Raiders commentator, opened up in a recent interview with Jim Rome and categorically stated that Crosby's role under new defensive coordinator Rob Leonard's tactical scheme is going to produce simply monstrous numbers. Listen to what Morrison nailed without blinking. "We feel like we got a first-round pick, Maxx Crosby. We thought he was gone. And all of a sudden, the trade doesn't happen. He is the leader of this defense. There's going to be a new defensive coordinator, Rob Leonard. This is going to be a different defense, attacking downhill." And Morrison went further, leaving the fan base hyped with the projection, "This new defense is going to allow Maxx Crosby to get to a different level than he's at in his career. Is this a prophetic vision that's going to come true, or nostalgic hype from someone who wants to see the team shine at any cost?" Under former coordinator Patrick Graham, our defense often adopted an annoyingly passive posture, relying strictly on the pre-drawn tactical scheme instead of hunting the opponent with violence and aggression in the trenches. Rob Leonard built his reputation in the league precisely for doing the exact opposite. He wants blood, constant pressure, and relentless blitzes all the time. Morrison detailed Leonard's exact aggressive plan. Rob loves to blitz. He wants to bring pressure. This new defense is going to allow Maxx Crosby to go to another level. We added some pieces in the draft along with Kwity Paye. Think about that for a second. If Kwity Paye's arrival on the other edge of the defensive line works out the way experts project, opponents will finally stop using suffocating double and triple blocks on top of Maxx Crosby. Without that exaggerated attention all the time, Crosby is going to have the freedom to turn opposing quarterbacks' lives into a complete hell with single blocks. But hold on, because not everything is sunshine and roses, and there are tough questions that need to be asked. Remember, Maxx Crosby didn't hide his deep frustration when the front office flirted with the idea of shipping him away in the final moments of the offseason. Did those internal wounds really heal, or is there some residual effect of mistrust behind the scenes? Besides, with a massive and vocal presence on social media, Crosby loves some controversy and never runs away from a microphone. The big question hammering in our minds is, can he maintain his status as an absolute elite pass rusher under this new strangling pressure, or are the Raiders going to need to start looking to the future thinking about alternatives? Now I want to hear from you, fan. Is this new aggressive defense under Rob Leonard going to put Crosby at the top of the NFL? Or are we creating expectations that are way too high? Leave your opinion in the comments.